Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Thanks so much for supporting me. Today we are going to learn how to cut the upper part of this dress. This is a request from one of our viewers, and so we are going to learn how to cut the upper part. So please, if you have not yet subscribed, consider subscribing. Do well to watch the advert of this video. YouTube calculates those watchings and they use it to give me some coins, okay? And also share the video for me, like and leave a comment. If you have not clicked on the notification bell, please do, so that whenever I upload a new video you will be notified. So relax and let's get started. So I have this here. This is going to be for the front and this is going to be for the back. And I have this one also here for the upper part. Okay, so I'll put this aside and work on this. So let me put the back also aside. What you see here is basic drafting. So the lines I've created here, I have a video on how to make basic body drafting, so you can refer to that video and know what I have made here. I'll leave the link there for you. Okay, so let's get started. This line is my shoulder to bust plus ½ inch allowance. So this is it. Shoulder to bust is 10 plus half, 10.5, and then I have shoulder to under bust, which is 14 plus half, and then shoulder to waist plus 1 inch. So the shoulder to waist is 16 plus 1, making 17 for sewing allowance. Okay, so when we come here, I'm going to put my dart measurement. The dart that I'm using is 3.5, and I'm going to add ½ into it to make it 4. You can decide to mark exactly 3.5 so that when you place it on your fabric, you add some ½ into it, but I'm doing everything here. And I'll come here also the under bust line and also mark the same 4 inches. Then I'll come to the waistline also and mark the same 4 inches. Join the point. And so what we are doing, we are first doing the inner part of the dress. That is the tube side. The inner one is tube. So we are going to first cut the tube. Okay, that's the off shoulder one. Okay, so we'll mark this, and then I'm going to come here by 0.5 inches or 0.75. So 0.75 here. Okay, then I'm going to place the measurement that we are using. The bust is not big, it's between 38, so I'm going to put 1.5 here, 1.5 here, then I'll put 1 here, 1 inch here, then I'll come here and put the same 1.5 also here, and then I'm going to make here 0.5. Ruler to join to the 0.75 here, and so like this. Okay, and then I'm going to join it to the 0.5. okay, then I'm going to use my curve to make this. Okay, so I'm going to place it this way. Okay, so this is it. So the next I'm going to do is that my shoulder slope here, I'm going to divide it into 2. Okay, so I'll divide it in, I have like 3.5 or 3.75. so I'm going to come here. Okay, so I'm going to join from the middle here to this point. Okay. Okay, so this is it. Okay, and so we are now going to create the neckline for the tube. That is, we are going to make it sweetheart neck and also join it to the armhole that we have here. Now we are going to measure the space between the bust line and the under bust. And so the space between the two we have 4 inches. 4 inches. So with the 4 inches, I'm going to place the 4 inches here. Now you can decide to use the exact 4 inches for this, or you can decide to add 1 inch. When you measure, you can decide to place the same measurement there, or you add extra 1, so the 4 is going to be what, 5, depending on how you want it. Maybe you don't want your tube side to be very low, so I'll place the 4 inches here. And I'm going to place the same 4 inches just as it is also here. Then I'll come here, the same 4 inches, I'm going to place it here, and then the same 4 inches, I'll place it here. Okay, so we are going to draw this to meet this. Do you get it? So this is it. So hope you can see. So this is our sweetheart neckline. I hope you are okay. Okay, on this line I'm going to measure 1 inch here, or you can measure 0.5. So 1 inch here, and then the same 1 inch also here. Do you get it? Then I'm going to join this point to this point, this also to this. Okay, so I'll measure the 4 inch also here and join it to this. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so after this we are going to join this to the armhole. This is the front armhole, so we are going to join it to it, curve it to meet the armhole point. From the 4 inches here, we are going to go this way. Armhole, hope you get it. So this is it, you see. Hope you get it well. Okay, this is it. So we are going to cut this out. Okay, now I'm going to add my measurement to it. The 2 inches we have here, I'm going to add it to this bust, the armhole, and then I'll add extra inch of about 1.5 or 2 inches. I'm going to add 1.5 also to it. So this is the 2 inches, 1.5 allowance. We'll come to the bust. The bust is 38 divided by 2 is going to be 9.5. 9.5 plus half inch for joining, and that's going to be 10. Then I'll add 2 inches to 8, making 12. Then I'll come to the underbust. With the underbust, I'm using the waist measurement, which is 28. So 28 divided by 4 is going to be 7. Plus what is between here is 2.5. And so that is going to give me 9.5 plus half inch for joining, making 10. And then I'm going to add 2 inches to 8. So also 12.5, 12 inches. Then I'll bring the same 12 also here. So I'll join it from the armhole. So I'm going to forget about this, and then I'll join from the armhole straight to the waistline here. You can join it with the point from here, 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 but from here to here, and that is it. Let me deepen it. Okay, so this is it. Now we are going to add half inch all over allowance for joining or sewing, because when you place it on your fabric and you cut and you add your lining to it, it's going to reduce this by half inch. So we'll add half inch all over. Okay, so this is it. So I'm going to put this aside and then we'll work on the back one. To place it here, mark the bust line of 10.5, but I'm going to make it 10 inches. I'm going to measure the darts 4 inches here. Then I'll come to the waistline, also measure the same 4 inches. I'm going to join it. So I'm going to mark 1/2 inch on each side. Okay, so 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to join it to this. So for the neckline, I'm going to do it on this. You can choose to come here 1 inch. You can choose to come down by 1 inch or go up by 1 inch, depending on how low you want the back to be. So I'm going to maintain it this way. So I'm going to join it from this point to the armhole. Okay. Okay, so this is it. Extend that line to this. 9.5, I'm going to add 1/2 inch to 8, and that's going to be 10 for the joining. Then allowance 2 inches is going to be here. Then we come to the waistline here. So the waistline here, that is going to be 7, and then the 1/2 inch here, making 1 inch plus it's 8, and then I'll add 1/2 inch for joining, and then 1 to 11. The armhole, I'm maintaining it like that. I'll join from the armhole point to the waistline here. Okay, so this is it. So this is it for the back. We'll cut it this way. So before we cut it, I'm going to put this aside, and then we are going to cut on what is on top of the tube. Okay. Now when you look at the style, you realize that the neck is like a boat neck style, and so we are going to make the neck width to be 5 inches. 5 inches. And then the neck dip, we are going to use 4 inches. 4 inches. Yes. Okay, so this is for the neckline. So I'll come here by 1 inch and do the shoulder slope. Now the back measurement is 15. Do you get it? I didn't add any sewing allowance to 8. Do you get it? Okay. So I'm going to do this to get the front armhole. The front armhole is, we are going to divide this into 2. Okay. Then I'll come here like 0.5. And then I'll draw the front armhole. Okay, so let me put my bust here. 9.5 plus 3 inches or 2 inches. I'll place it here, and then I'll come to the waistline, which is 7 plus 3 inches. That's going to be 10. Okay, so I'm going to join it from the armhole to this. And so the next thing to do is how to draw to get that shape. Okay, so we'll first cut it out, then open up and then do the drawing. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this to the next side, the neckline to the next side. So I will mark the same thing also here. Open up, it's going to be like this for the neckline, like a boat neckline. Do you get it? Okay, so we'll cut out the shape and then we'll continue. This on another paper that I'm going to cut it for the back. For the armhole, because it's back, I'm going to neck for front and back is going to be the same. So this is it for the front and back. Okay, so I'm going to measure the dart. This is the bust line. So I measure the dart. The actual dart is 3.5, but I'm going to go off 1 inch, or you can even go off like 1.5. So I'm going to go off 1 inch or 1.5. That is, so I'll measure 5 here. Yes. Okay, so this is it. And then I'll come to the waistline. Then I'll measure the exact 3.5 at the waistline, because that's the exact that point, 3.5. So I'm going to join this to the 3.5. Okay, then I'll open up this way. And I'm going to join from here, the shoulder here, to the point here, to that point that we made here. Hope you get it. Yeah, so yeah. But I'm not going to get exactly at the shoulder. I'm going to go in like 1 inch. So from the shoulder, the armhole line here, I'm going to go in like 1 inch or 0.75. So I'll go in like 0.75. The next thing to do is to give half inch allowance. But if you are going to use lace and you know you are not going to line it, then there's no need adding any half inch allowance to it. Do you get it? Okay, so I'm going to give it half here. This is it. Do you get it? Okay, when you come to the back, this is the back. Now bear in mind that when you are cutting, should face the back equally. And so this is, let's assume this is the inside, the wrong side of the fabric, okay, and this one, this is the right side, this is the wrong side of the fabric. Okay, so it means at the end of the day, the wrong side of this should face the wrong side of this, okay, this way, before you cut it. But we are not going to cut the back just like the way we've done for the front. If you cut it the same, there will be nothing to support the back, and so when you wear this part of the sleeve will shift to the neck. You need something to support the back. Do you get it? So we are not going to cut it exactly the same. And so what you are going to do is going to mark this here. You said this mark here, trace it here. Do you get it? So I'm going to trace it here like this. Okay, then I'll take this one out. Now for the back, so this is the back. You can choose to measure from the shoulder here to meet the so that you cut it halfway this way and then join it on top like yoke. Do you get it? Join it on top, or you can leave it like this and then you place it on top of this, so the tube will go inside, especially when you are using lace. When you are using lace, you can do it that way. You place it on top of the tube this way. Do you get it? So it will be on top. You can leave it like that. You not cut it half this way and join, but rather you will leave it like that and then you place it on top. Do you get it? Instead of attaching it here, sewing it and joining it to it, I'm going to place it on this, so it will be placed on it like on this line. You see, place it on it here, so it will be on top of this and this will be inside just here. Do you get it? Okay, so I'm going to make it 10.5, so it means it's going to exactly at the bust point. Then this place to 10.5. And so this curve that I've made here, I'm going to come in this way to cut it off. So it's going to be like this. Do you get it? So let's forget about this and then focus on this for the back. Then I'll cut here. Do you get it? Go in this way. So that's how I'm going to cut this part. I can even take it to this side and also trim it the same way. You can also trim it the same way. Okay, so before we consider trimming it the same way, I'll bring this here and I'm going to cut it. I'm not cutting it on the allowance, I'm cutting it here. Okay. So like this is how the back is going to be. Do you get it? Now when I pick this, I'm going to trim the front part here a bit so that I'm going to trim it a bit. So I'll turn it this way, okay, and then trim it. So this is it. So for this, at the end of the day, we are not going to give it a sleeve, so it's going to be like this. Do you get it? Okay. So I'm going to place this on fabric and then cut it, and then we'll continue. And so I used this satin, 2 different colors to cut it so that we'll see the difference well. So here is it. Okay, so what we are going to do is if you cut for your fabric, you cut the same thing for your lining also. But with this tutorial, I'm just showing you how to go about it, so we are not going to line. And so this is for the back of the tube, and we are going to attach it. So these are the two backs and two fronts. Okay, so I'm going to attach, this is it, you see. So I'll take one and attach it. So this is it for the back, and I'm going to do this side also. For this, the front part also, just pick and then match it. Okay, so this is it for the front part, and this is the upper, the one on it, the one on top. So this is it. And so before you join it together, you are going to first attach this to each. Here. Okay, so this is how it's going to be. So this is it, and at the end of the day, this is going to be on top like this. Hope you get it. It's going to be on top like this. You can decide to join it this way. You see, join it this way, but this, the idea was for it to be on top like this. This is it, you see. Okay, then we are going to attach this to it this way, and then sew the shoulder. So we took 2 inches, so I'm just marking out the 2 inches. So I'm done pinning, and we are going to turn it. Okay, so this is it. So at the end of the day, that's how you're going to have it. You see. You can decide to pad it. I have a video on how to pad princess dart, so I'll leave it for you to watch and know how to pad it. And so this is it. I'm going to put this on the mannequin so that you see it well.